What's going on, guys? This is Damien from The Lookout, and I'm here with Marco, who took 11th place with U7 Goku on the Zenkai Showdown tournament. Hi, Marco. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine.
Yeah. So, U7, what made you take U7 to this new Zenkai meta?
Yes, U7. I really like the U7 deck. It was the strongest deck, red deck, before the new ones, obviously. It is still in a good position because you have so many different options to play. You can just play, go aggro turn 2 and 3 without playing your Unison, or playing a little bit longer game with board control with your baby Unison. And I really like what the deck is doing. I really like all the cards in my deck, and that's why I said, okay, I will try U7 Goku in this Zenkai meta again.
And you did amazingly well. Can you take us through the deck?
Yes, I can. So the leader, I think everyone knows the leader, but I will explain it. It has a auto. When this card attacks, draw one card. Pretty normal. It has a activate main to burst 3. I can burst the top cards of my deck, and normally I want to have the Universe 7 cards and drop. To reach the first goal, 5 Universe 7 cards for my Android and my Golden Freezer, or reach 7 Universe 7 cards to awake my leader. After the burst, I can draw one card and then choose one card in my hand and discard it. So that's how I get 4 cards and drop in the first turn. Awaken is at 4 or less, or when I have 7 or more Universe 7 cards in my drop, I can draw one and switch one energy to active. And the backside, unfortunately, it hasn't when this card attacks, draw one card, but the activate main now lets me just draw a card without discarding, and I can choose to burst another up to 3 cards from the top of my deck. Normally I stop bursting when I'm about sparking 20. Depends on what's in my drop already. And the really good activate main, sparking 20, I can add any mono red Universe 7 card from the drop to my hand. Then the skill is negated for the game. So if I bursted my secret rare, I can add it to my hand. The big Goku and Jiren card. If I need a barrier removal, I can grab the SSB Kaioken. If I need some offense or defense power, I can grab a super combo. I can just grab anything I need.
Yeah,
That's
amazing.
a really nice effect.
Amazing effect. You know, your drop is effectively an extension of your hand in this deck with this leader, with its activate. Yeah.
Yes. That's the leader. Then I will start with my main deck. I will start with the 1-drops. I have first I will place it here. First, Sangor Ultimate Essence. It's a pretty standard card. I can play him for 1. I can look at the top 5 and grab any red Universe 7 with 4 or less, or a red Unison card with specified cost of 2. But in my deck, I don't play any Unison with specified cost 2 because I have the baby Unison. And the auto, when I use a mono red skillless battle card, I can draw a card. So he lets me to stay at high life without wasting hand cards when I have the skillless cards in my hand. The next 1-drop is Android 17, Heeding the Call. So this card was at 4 in my deck for a long time when Trunks Jita was more present. because when I'm bursting him from the top of my deck, he comes into play and bursts another card. And that's good versus Trunks Vegeta because I can trigger all his Trunks blockers and Putin just with one free play. And that's for the rest of the turn I'm safe to play any battle cards or Unison cards I want. I took one out because I thought Trunks Vegeta wouldn't be that present in the Zenkai meta because of the new yellow starter deck. And 3 was just fine. If you have him in hand, you can just play him for 1 and draw 1 card. That's nice too. Or you can just charge him or discard him with the leader's effect on the front side. So just a good card. Then for the next Universe 7, I have one of the best Universe 7 cards in the deck, the Android 17.
The double striker, yeah.
For him, I have to reach my first goal with my bursting skill of my leader. I need to have 5 or more Universe 7 cards in drop to play him for 1. He's then 15k double strike when I'm at Sparking 7, but Sparking 7 is already on turn 2. And when this card attacks, I can look at the top 3 cards and grab any mono red Universe 7 card from the top of my deck. So just a good card. It makes so much pressure in the first turns, turn 2, turn 3. Normally the opponent wants to clear this card, so you are safe for your leader. You can stay at high life because they are focusing on the android to remove it, or on my next card, the Golden Freezer. So I set it. The next Universe 7 card is 4 times Golden Freezer, Universe Survival. He has the same activate main. When I have 5 or more Universe 7 card in drop, I can play him for 1. When I'm at Sparking 7, he's a 19k dual attack, and when this card is played, I can choose one of my opponent's battle cards and give it minus 15. Normally I used him to remove a blocker token when the opponent started to negate, or just to clear the board. I can swing at 2 or 3 battle cards with 19k and minus 15 another battle card. That's what I said. Universe 7 has so many options. You can aggro the enemy or play the control style to clear the board. That's why I like it.
Yeah, and the fact that it's like 19k, it goes in this red infested meta, it goes, it dodges Violent Rays, so that's also amazing with this card.
Yeah, that's right. It's a really good card. The next good card is Son Goku Sign of Mastery. He has a Sparking 7 skill, a permanent. When I'm at Sparking 7 and my leader is a red Son Goku card, the energy cost is reduced by 2. So he's 1 cost 2. I can either play him as a counterplay. The counterplay just says play this card, or I can hardcast it for 1 in my turn and play 2. When this card is played, I can minus 15 an opponent's battle card, and if this skill would reduce the card's power to 0 or less, I can draw another card. So with these 2, I can just minus 30 a boss monster, obviously without barrier, and in addition I can destroy his boss monster with 30k and draw a card with Sign of Mastery when it's reduced to 0. Just a nice card.
It's very difficult to play boss monsters against this deck. Yeah, it is.
Right. So, the next one is my super combo. It's the best super combo you can play in the deck. It's a Universe 7. You can search it by your Gohan skill, by your Android skill. You can take it back from your drop, so you basically can play 5 super combos, use 4 and sparking 20 to get another one. And the nice thing, it's sparking 5. So he allows you to stay high life in turn 2, turn 3 when the opponent isn't too aggro. And you can awake at, most of the time I will awake at 7 lives, at 6, 7 or 8 lives, because I have the freezer in my hand. Of course, I can defend my Android or my Golden Freezer when the opponent is focused to destroy my battle cards. So again here, I have so many options to play, either to go offensive, defend my battle cards, or stay at high life for my leader.
Yeah, and like you said, you can search it, you can get it back. It's really, the best option in this deck. Yeah.
Then I have the Divine Presence package. I play 3 Divine Presence, 2 Son Goku skillless and 2 Vegeta skillless cards. Divine Presence was a really nice card. Mostly turn 4 or 5, because my turn 2 and 3 is already full with plays. Turn 2 I play the smaller Universe 7s, turn 3 is my Unison play, and this one allowed me to pressure in turn 4 or turn 5 when I don't need the secret rare. It's good versus blue because he has deflect, and I can swing really hard into this leader because I can play him when I have 2 or more battle cards in my combo area for 2 energy. Then this card is played, and I can choose 1 mono red card, and it gets 5000 power for the turn. I can choose him or my leader. I can even use him in the defense step to push my leader for 5000 for the turn. And when this card attacks, I can add up to 1 red skillless battle card from my deck to my hand. And I can boost him up to 5000 power for the turn too.
It's super strong.
So he's a 25k dual attack or a 30k when I boost him with his on-play effect. It's a really good card for 2 energy. I can even activate battle him more than once per turn. So if I have 4 or 5 energy and I have my 2 cards in the combo area, I can just pay 2 for 1 Divine Presence and pay 2 for another Divine Presence just in 1 battle.
Yeah, it's an insane red card.
Yeah. I think I would cut him down to 2. 3 was a little bit too much. Depends on the match, on the enemy deck. But I think in the main deck I will cut him down to 2 and put him to the side 1 or 2 times versus blue or yellow. It was okay at 3, but I think it was just too much. So I normally played him versus blue or yellow, and in the other matchups I charged him or discarded him with the leader effect. There was no use for him. The 2 skillless cards were fine. I can just combo them with my Son Gohan to make ±0 and defend my cards. So that was everything for. Oh no, that wasn't everything. I have some cards left here. Sorry. The next card is Universe 7, SSB Kaioken Son Goku. One is enough. It's I normally use his activate main for 2 to reduce a battle card ignoring barrier by 25k. But you could play him for 3 and choose all of your opponent battle cards with 20,000 power or less and KO them. It's nice too, but normally I never played him for 3. I used him for 2 to discard him and ignore a barrier minus 25k a battle card. It's nice versus yellow, of course. Trunks blockers. It's the new decks. Many of the new decks has barrier now, so it's just a nice to have card.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a Universe 7. If you bursted him, you can just grab it with your Sparking 20 if you need him.
It's a much needed barrier removal in red.
Yeah, that's right. There isn't so much barrier removal. That's why he's in the deck. My first boss monster, Son Goku Ultra Mastery. He's a double strike dual attack. I can play him for 4 energy if I have 10 or more Universe 7 card in my drop. When this card is played, all of my opponent's battle cards get minus 35k for the turn. And I can't play non-red battle cards for the turn. So it's basically a board clear with deflect for double strike dual attack 35. And when I have Sparking 20, when I attack, I can look at my opponent's hand and choose one of his battle cards with 7 or less and discard it. A great card, but 1 is enough. Normally, for 4 energy, I would rather play the Secret Rare, my second boss monster. Everyone knows him because Sin, Shenron, and Gogeta are abusing him too.
Yeah, it's insanely good Secret Rare.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been calling it like the baby hatch of red since it came out. Like it's the red Secret Rare.
The red Secret Rare, that's right. So I can play him for 4. My opponent's leader card gets minus 5,000 for the turn. Most of the time I just use the activate main to directly remove him from the game and crit a life of my opponent and clear the whole board including Unison, ignoring barrier. I had one match versus Yellow Trunks where I started to swing because he was tapped out and not many cards in hand. You have to be careful because if his skills get negated by Final Flash or Release from Evil, you can't remove it and it just stays on the board and the opponent leaves his board.
Yeah, that's
but a really great Secret Rare. So that was my Universe 7 package. It's 33 cards from 60. So almost a little bit more than 50%. It was okay. I reached my goals. 5 Universe 7 cards and drop, 7 Universe 7 cards and drop, and then the Sparking 20 and 25 for my Secret Rare. So 33 was just okay. I wouldn't change anything in this ratio. The next, possibly the best red Unison. It's my turn 3 play. I can play him for 3. He has a +1 activate main. I can draw 1 card, absorb one of my opponent's battle cards. So here it helps me clearing the board or keeping the board a little bit low. And this card gets 10,000 power for the turn. Additionally, if this card would lose a marker, I can just remove 1 absorbed card, put it back, and instead of losing a marker. So the Unison normally just sits on the board. It's hard to remove. And if I'm tapped out, my leader gains
Plus 1k.
1k,
Yeah.
1k for the turn.
Yeah, forcing your opponent to have to combo if he wants to.
It's basically a senzu bean for free, just for tapping out. And it's okay to tap out turn 3. Normally I play him turn 3 and then awake. If I had to go aggro turn 2, I awaked turn 2 and played him turn 3 by going tap out. But he saves you when you are tap out, because your opponent has to combo. Obviously, Vidal counterplay with this Unison. It's for free for Spirit Boost 1. I can play her, and I can choose 2 of my open battle cards, and they get minus 20,000 power for the turn. But if I used her, I can't use any counter skills from my hand for the duration of the turn. So it's possible to play him in counter window 1 and her in counter window 2 to neck 1 battle card 35k. It's really great, but you can't play it the other way around. You can't counterplay first and then counterplay with the Sign of Mastery Goku.
Yeah, I have even seen some lists run Jiren Unison instead of Baby, so that this was earlier in the previous meta when Celzino was a big problem, and then you can just 10, 10, 10, 20, just chain huge minuses on it.
Yeah, that's right. But I like the Baby Unison more than the Jiren Unison, just because it's a draw 1. You can absorb any battle cards from your opponent which annoy you. Blocker, it's great to remove blocker tokens, but you wouldn't get the blocker token under this card. It's just removed from the game, but it helps you to pressure your opponent. 3 Vidal is enough. I played 4, but 4 felt too much. It starts turn 3, turn 4, and I ended up to, when I played her at 4, ended up to charge her or discard her by leader effect. So 3 is enough for me. Then my next play for my Unison card, obviously 1 new ruler.
Yeah,
it's the best, one of the best red cards. It comes for free when I have a Unison with 3 or more markers in play. So I already explained that this card is really hard to remove or to get the markers down. So you can play him most of the time for free. He's a 20k double strike. My opponent can't block. And the card is removed at the end of turn from the game.
It's crazy to think that this card was not limited to 1 at some point.
Yeah, that's right. Even when you saw the King Piccolo deck first, he could search out the new rulers with you can play in at 4. It was insane.
Yeah.
So for the next cards, I have 2 Resolve Renewed, 2 Broly Crowns. Yeah, nothing to say here. Broly Crown, great card. You can look at the opponent's hand and just choose one of the battle cards, 20,000 power or less, and place it in the drop. You can check his combo power to probably finish. You can check if he has some other negates or stuff. So great card. But I hope it will get banned. Since Sharon and Gogeta are abusing this card with Unison.
Something's gonna happen to this card, but I'm not gonna talk about it in this video. But don't worry, something is happening with this card.
Okay, yeah. And the next one, Resolve Renewed, a great card. It's, instead of being play a 15k battle card, great versus yellow.
Yeah,
I decided one in against yellow because I can stop every floodgate from yellow and a little bit of blue. So great card. So for my negates, I played 2 After Image, 2 Testing, 2 Violent Rays, and 2 King Vegeta's Imposing Presence in my main deck. So first the After Image technique, Sparking 5. You have Sparking 5 available turn 2. You can just pick a life when you need it and boost your leader for 40k and choose one of your open battle cards, and it gets minus 10,000 power. So basically a 50k combo. The next one is Testing at 2, pretty standard. Blocker negate if you need it. Violent Race at 2 in my main deck, but 1 in the side deck for obviously Shin-Run Gogeta matchups, and the new heavy blue cards, the new 6-drop Goku, the Z battle cards, the blue ones are pretty heavy, all 25k or 30k triple strikes. So Violent Race, great card. Yes, and King Vegeta's Imposing Presence. I really like this card because it saves you almost a turn. When you're at 3 life, you can pay a counter for free by discarding 1 card. The first card gets Ignoring Barrier, which is attacking minus 10, and every time the opponent attacks, he has to neg the attacking card by 5k. So in combination with the Baby Unison, which boosts up your leader to 16k, and King Vegeta's Imposing Presence, which forces the opponent to minus 5k every battle card, the opponent needs to combo 10k to get damage if he attacks with smaller battle cards. So I think that was fine. I think I want to have another After Image technique again, go up to 3, but I have to playtest a little bit. And then many cards left in my main deck. 2 Shampas. 2 Shampas is great because you burst them a lot, and it's just nice to have a Shampa on your hand, either for clearing a Unison, for making the finishing strike with double strike, or it's great on 2. I wouldn't cut it down to 1. 1 Freezer's Death Ball, activate battle. It's 25k combo power on a leader or battle card without barrier. So I can choose one of my leader or battle cards, give it plus 15, and choose one of my opponent's leader or battle cards, and it gets minus 10, so basically 25. Great card. It's okay at 1. And my another 4 super combos, Supreme Kai. I have her in the deck because in many matches I have a really low hand size, and this one allows you to have the combo power when you have when you have 5 or less cards. So if you have 5 or less cards and you combo this card gains another 5k combo power. Unfortunately, the other auto, when I burst her, I can't play her because it's for Black Saiyans. But if I could play her in the red U7 deck, it would be just too strong. So 4 was too much. I think I would cut 1 to get another After Image technique. But it was really good because no one expects this card in the main deck. Most of the players count the super combos in the drop to go for finishing strikes and don't expect another 10k cards in the hand. So it's great card.
Great deck, yeah. Very spicy.
So that was my main deck. It's 60 cards. Then I go for the Zenkai deck. I have 2 SS4, Son Goku, Defender of Life. It's a good card. It's a super good card in the Pan deck, but I can play him for 2 and 3 Zenkai energy. He has Deflect Double Strike. When this card is played, I can choose one of my red Saiyan cards in my drop and place it under this card, and this card gains barrier, and I can deal damage to my opponent if he has 4 more life.
So you can set them up to lethal range. If you can hit them for free, you just knock them down. 1 unpreventable is amazing.
Yeah, and it's a 25k double strike. It can clear Unisons. It can finish the opponent when he is at 2. Great card. Best Zenkai card is the Rush Attack SSB Vegeta for 2 energy and 2 Zenkai energy. He is 15k deflect. When this card attacks, I can use up to mono red card with 5000 power from my drop and combo it, with the skills negated for the turn. And then I can neck one of my opponent battle cards or Unison's cards by 15. It's not once per turn, so here's the activate main. When I have 4 or more Z energy, I can switch this card to active mode, and this card gains 10,000 power, double strike, and barrier. So he can attack twice and
charge
neck battle cards 2 times by 15k.
Yeah. Whenever he attacks, he charges, he replaces basically his own Zenkai cost. It's
and it's a 25k double strike dual attack. So it's a really, really, really strong card. And another card, I never played him. I just have him in my Zenkai deck because I had the space. I can add 7 Zenkai cards in my deck. It's a good card if you need it. I can play for 1 energy and 1 Zenkai energy. I can place 1 card from my hand to the bottom of the deck. And when this card is played, I can add up to 1 card from my life to my hand and draw 1 card. So if I have a low hand size and staying at high life, I can just play him to +1 and probably get what I need. But I never used him, never needed to play him.
And let's go quickly. We've been talking for like half an hour now. Let's go quickly over the side deck.
Violent Race, the third one, I explained it, was Shenron and Gogeta. A third, Resolve Renewed for the yellow and blue matchups. My King Piccolo's Underling, a great card versus blue. When my opponent switches their energy to active mode using a counter skill, he has to crit a life and crit an energy. A great card. Obviously 2 versus blue, maybe Gamma playing the Android 17. 2 Koitsukais versus yellow and blue Floodgates. Great card. When he plays the Floodgate with 20,000 power or less, he needs to warp 2 cards from their hand. Dark Power Black Messiah. Never sided him. It was probably for the Trunks Jita matchup. Or for the free plays Shenron does, but I never sided him. Another card I would cut out from the side deck is Broken Seal. It was a good card most of the time in the side deck, but I never had the chance to side him or use him. I probably would have used him to stop the 8-drop Gogeta or the big Shenron, but never sided him too. Counter for extra cards which are activated with extra cards with 1 cost which are activated without paying its energy cost. So Dimension Magic,
Dormant Potential,
and other big counter attacks. Never sided this one too because I hadn't the matchups, and 2 Daburas because I just want to have Dabura. Green isn't that represent in the current meta, and neither is hand destruction, but if I would play versus a hand destruction deck, I would be it's a needed card because Q7 Goku, I said it, I play the for Super Combo Supreme Kai because I'm often at low hand size, and I would just lead him. So
nice.
The side deck this was a side deck.
So thank you for showing the deck. Do you have any shoutouts to give?
Yeah, shoutouts to obviously my team, Universe OVL, which are practicing very often with me. It's a nice small team with new players, and obviously shout out to the TOs of the event. It was a great event, well organized, and I liked it. I would come back again from Germany.
Thank you. Well, that's it, guys. The Universe 7 deck. So thank you for doing this deck profile. Guys, this has been Damien, and I'll see all of you in the next video.